In today's episode, we're going to be discussing which pressure washer is the right one for you. So stay tuned. Guys, welcome to the Mr. Bubbles channel where we dish out awesome pressure washing business advice to beginners. I got an exciting one for you. You guys saw from the intro there. We're going to be doing a lengthy discussion here talking about which pressure washer is the right one for you, 4 GPM, 5 GPM, or 8 GPM. Now, before we even get into today's episode, this quick announcement out of the way. A lot of you guys been emailing me, asking me how you can get a hold of me. Guys, if you would like to have a phone call with me or a Zoom call with me, it's super easy to set that up. In the description of this video, you're going to find a little section that says, book a call with me. You click that, you pay the fee, and we set that up. I highly recommend you do that because, guys, this is not a resource that I had available to me when I started my business that I wish I had to be able to call somebody for answers or help in any kind of way. Maybe you're building your rig or you're setting up your marketing system and you don't know anything about how to get customers for your pressure washing business. I can help you out with that. So make sure you guys take advantage of that. So now that we got that announcement out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode. Now, I created a little sheet for you guys. I'll put that up for you. And for you guys that are, listening to this, and, because you're in your truck or you're at work and you're just listening to me, make sure when you get home, you rewatch this because you're going to be able to see the sheet that we're going to put up right now. Now, what you're looking at is the wash phases. It's something that I created for you guys so you can sort of track your own development in terms of sales and what your equipment should look like. So in phase one, you guys see on there, it says 4 GPMs. If you are doing $500 to $1,000 a week, so $500 to $1,000 a week, that's 1 or 3 jobs. And then in terms of sales per month, guys, if you're doing $2,000 to $4,000 a month, your machine should be right around the 4 GPM machine. Phase two, sales per week, 1,500 to 2,000. Jobs like 5 to 10 a week. And in terms of sales per month, 5 to 8,000. Now, phase three is 8 GPM machine. If you're doing sales-wise per week, 2,500 to 4K. And then jobs per week, 15 to 25, that comes out to like 50 to 75 jobs a month, let's say. And then sales-wise, $10,000 to $15,000 a month. And this sheet here, by the way, guys, if you would like it, I can email it to you so you can have it, you can archive it, and, it can be a great resource for you. Now, guys, this is to say, this is just a breaking, like a jumping off point. This is something that I went through myself. This is not written in stone that it has to be this way. This is just how I recommend for you guys because let's be honest, a lot of you guys that listen to this channel or watch the videos, you don't even have a pressure washing business yet. And if you're wondering what type of machine that you should get, well, this tells you because if you're currently doing less than 4 or 5 jobs a week, this would put you in phase one, which is 4 GPMs. That means that you're a part-timer. If you're only doing 1 or 3 jobs a week, you're a part-timer. You don't need your super fancy, expensive rigs to be able to go out there to do 1, 2 jobs a week. Guys, guess what? There's a guy in my area that I know that's part of my network. He's on track this year in 2024 to do over 150K, and he rocks a Simpson 3.5 GPM machine. Now, I've had discussions with him that, he needs to upgrade, but the point is, you can do a lot with a 4 gallon a minute machine. And I recommend that when you start, whatever you do not spend all of this money on buying expensive rigs. You guys well know that I talk about this a lot on my channel. You should be building your own rigs. If you watch, for example, guys, my trailer build series or my truck build series, Those rigs were built under $5,000. So you guys can accomplish that. You don't need the creme de la creme stuff because, guys, you have to grow your business first. We talk about this. It's the number one model of the Mr. Bubbles channel is you have to grow your business before you grow your equipment. And what do I mean by growing your business? Becoming knowledgeable in sales and marketing, having online presence, like, an optimized Google My Business, things that will actually get you customers. For example, uniforms, lettering on your vehicles or a vehicle wrap, investing in marketing things like your A-frame signs. Those things will make you money because you're going to consistently have a cash flow coming into your business. Then in terms of sales, you'll be able to upgrade, according to, the money that's coming in. And for me, guys, that process was like a 3-year process. By the end of year 4, I had my first HEPM machine. But my first 2 years, you guys well know this, I started out, I had a 1.8 GPM machine that I bought on Craigslist for $50, lasted me a couple months. Then I went, getting other machines, Craftsman. Eventually, I ended up with a Simpson 3.5 GPM. And then by the end of year 2, I got my first 4-gallon-a-minute machine. But then by then, guys, I was already hitting these numbers. And I've mentioned this before, that it was in the beginning of my 3rd year when I quit my job. And then I jumped into this full time. And when I did, I bought my first 5 GPM machine. And then also, guys, I want you to consider this. Just because you have credit doesn't mean that you should use said credit to start this business. I actually recommend you guys don't do that. If you don't have the cash to buy a machine or to start this business, I recommend you keep working, saving your money, buy things little by little. Maybe it'll take you 6 to 9 weeks, let's say, for you to get all the equipment together. You watch one of my my build series, and then boom, you go from there. Because again, you want to make sure that you start your business debt free. This is going to be huge for you in terms of, being able to make good money out there, guys. Like, you don't want to get out there and have all your money just to go to pay for a machine or a credit card and things of that nature. So, but anyway, so here's my point. So let's say you're part-time, you've been in the game for a year, then all of a sudden you start to get a lot of momentum out there, and you notice that you go from doing 1 to 3 jobs a week to 1 to 3 jobs a day. Automatically, I will switch to a 5-gallon-a-minute machine because it's going to make you a little bit faster. And then also, guys, as you go through this journey, you might say to yourself, well, why do I have to buy different machines? Why don't I just start with the creme de la creme machine? The reason for that being, guys, is that, as you progress and you mature in this entrepreneur journey, especially when we're talking about pressure washing, because you're dealing with toxic chemicals, you're going to ruin some of this equipment because you don't yet know what you're doing. Like that old saying, how does it go? You don't know what you don't know. So you don't want to ruin expensive stuff, guys. Like, you want to learn all of the equipment maintenance, all of the house washing systems out there with the cheap stuff. Then as you progress and you become more knowledgeable and more experienced, you want that equipment to grow with that knowledge base. Does that make sense to you guys? Because, guys, guess what? I fried like my first 6 pumps because I was actually connecting my downstream injector straight to the pump. So, the tube straight to the pump. So I was running bleach through my pumps. Well, that I didn't know, like I said, what you don't know, you don't know. So I actually ended up completely destroying my first like 5-6 pumps. And then eventually I started to learn how to do the business the right way. For example, a lot of you guys listening to me, you don't even know what a bypass line is yet. So make sure, guys, that you're watching the videos, watch the trailer build and the truck build series, because it's going to explain to you how all of this works together. But then again, if you follow my blueprint here in terms of like the phases per sales, it's going to give you guys a good guidance on what you should be doing. And then also, I'm going to say the last thing about that is this. in terms of upgrading your equipment. Guys, these types of equipment, they hold their value, and you always need backup. So if you have your 4GPM and then you buy a 5, you hold on to your 4GPM for a while, and then you can use that as a backup. Then when you migrate from the 5 to the 8, you can sell your 4-gallon. You can even, put like an old hose reel together, build a rig and sell it. And guess what? You're going to get like 80, 90% of your money back anyway. Because again, these things hold their value, and you always got to have backup equipment. Like right now, we have one backup 8 GPM and one backup 10 GPM machine and one AR-45. In case any of our machines go down, we can just switch them out and then send them to, go get fixed if it's possible. But the bottom line is you don't have to worry about wasting your money on buying something that you're going to have to upgrade in the future, because again, one, you always need backup equipment, and two, these things really hold their value. Now, before we talk about phase number 3, let me tell you guys real quick about my business in a box. Guys, quick announcement. I've created a digital product called Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box. Check this out. Okay, so the Mr. Bubbles Business in a Box is actually a thumb drive that we're going to send to you guys to your physical address. And when you get this thumb drive, you're going to see a folder that's called Box in it. And then when you open it, you're going to see all of these files right here, guys, all of these folders. And guys, this thing has over 500 files, anything and everything I've ever created from my business. So all of the blueprints, training modules, documents, all of the things that you guys constantly email me about, your pricing PDF, your for example, your marketing blueprints, anything that you could need for your business is in here. That's why we call it a business in a box. One of the things that I really like about this is, guys, check out all of these pictures. So you have a total of 300 before and after pictures that you guys can add to your website and your Facebook and your Google My Business. And check this out. So there's a folder called Google SEO. And the pictures already have the SEO words in them. And this one photo right here has over 300. This specific folder has 190 pictures, but all in all, it's over 300 pictures. Look at some of these pictures, guys. Amazing before and afters pictures for you guys to be able to add to all of your social medias and whatnot. This is going to help you get a lot of customers. And of course, your edible postcards are on here. And then finally, you got training videos on here as well, guys. Like, for example, the video on how to optimize your Google My Business, the Mr. Bubbles. You got several videos. So they're like training modules. You got all the PDFs. The bottom line, guys, is this. This is going to help you with your business. So don't miss out. Make sure that you email us so you can get your business in a box today. In order to get your business in a box, you just got to hit the link in the description of this video. And I say this all the time on the channel, guys. The more you know, the more you grow. That's how come I decided to create this business in a box, because it has everything in there you need to be able to grow your business. And I really believe that this is going to be a game changer for you. Guys, you do not want to miss out on this one. All right, guys, so just to recap, if you're a new guy, you're going to be in phase 1, which is 4 GPMs, which means you're doing less than, $1,000 a week worth of work. In phase 2, you want to migrate to a 5 GPM machine. You're doing about $2,000 a week worth of work. That comes out to about, like a job a day, I would say 1 to 2 jobs per day. You should be using a 5-gallon a minute machine. We didn't talk about soft washing because we're talking specifically about machines, but right around this time also, you should have a 12-volt system. That's going to help you out a lot, because you want to marry downstreaming with soft washing, because you'll be able to do things like wooden fence or wooden deck or roof cleaning, things of that nature. So, but anyway, so my point is, when you're doing $5,000 a month to $8,000 a month, you should be at the very bare bones minimum be using a 5 gallon a minute. And if you're on the tail end of that, meaning you're making $6,000-$7,000 a month, I would go ahead and switch to phase 3, which is 8 GPMs, gallons per minute. Now, if you're doing here, sales week 2,500 plus. I have here 4,000, but you could be doing more. Guys, the bottom line is, if you're doing at least $2,500 a week in sales, you're doing 15 to 25 jobs. That comes out to like 3 to 6 jobs a day. Maybe you're doing 4 jobs a day. $10,000 to $15,000 a month. It justifies you having that 8 gallon a minute machine. Remember, you're going to need big buffer tanks for that. The great thing about the 8 gallon a minute as opposed to the 4 or the 5 guys is that you can go really, really big with your surface cleaner. For example, one of our 8 gallon machines has a 30-inch surface cleaner. You would not be able to use that with the 4 or the 5 because remember, for every GPM, you can go 4 inches on your surface cleaner. So for example, a 4 GPM machine, you can go up to 16 inches on your, 16 inches on your surface cleaner. Like, for example, those Lowe's ones, those little silver discs. Now, you guys seen on my videos and a lot of videos, the guys use that yellow one from Amazon. Well, that one's 20 inches. You need 5 gallons a minute or better for that, right? But the ones that we use also here, you wouldn't be able to use if you had a 5 GPM because you can't go, 30-inch surface cleaner on a 5 GPM machine because, again, 5 times 4 is 20. So the point being is, make your concrete cleaning a little bit faster, especially if you're doing a lot of driveways. And for you guys that are, out west and you're doing a lot of concrete cleaning, you're going to need a GPM machine, or even like one of our rigs right now has the 10 GPM machine. And with that, we have a 36-inch surface cleaner. So it's all relative to your, the type of business that you guys got out there, because also if you are doing a lot of commercial work, you're going to need the bigger machines, the bigger, surface cleaners and whatnot. But, for you guys that are new, you just need to know this. If you're still part-timer and you're not doing that much in sales, man, that 4 gallon a minute machine, guys, is enough for you to not just make money, but for you to build experience out there. And as you get better and you know how to downstream, I always tell you guys this, you want to shoot for like your first 100 houses. So once you've made it to 100 houses, you feel super comfortable. You're consistently getting clients. So meaning you're developing your sales and your marketing abilities out there. Then I would migrate to your next machine because, guys, honestly, the difference between a 5 gallon a minute machine and an 8 gallon a minute machine, in my point of view, is like going from a tricycle to a Harley. Like, it is a big difference. It's going to save you 15 to 20 minutes easy per house wash. So if your house wash right now is taking an hour and 20 minutes, just switching from a 5 to an 8 will knock down about 15, 20 minutes, meaning you're going to do it in an hour. That means you have more time for an upsell, you have more time to pick up the neighbor, more time to do marketing, or you simply have more time, to do stuff with your family. Because if you're saving 20 minutes per job and you have 5 jobs, that's 100 minutes. I mean, come on, guys. Like, you're saving yourself a lot of time, effort, energy, and in the long run, it's going to be a lot of money. Because this is so important to me, guys. I want you guys to start off your business on the right foot, build a solid foundation. What I said there about starting your business, cash, no debt, just because you got good credit. Please, guys, don't go out there and buy these expensive rigs because, again, the money is not in the equipment. The money is in the knowledge, the skill sets. that you're going to need to be able to make a lot of money is in things like, for example, how to get customers, networking, customer service. These are all skill sets that take time for you to develop. In the meantime, you're figuring out all the maintenance stuff on the back end. That's why you want to start with the cheap equipment first and kind of work your way up, because you guys are going to go out there and buy those super expensive rigs that you don't yet know how to use. And by the way, you have a $25,000, $30,000 rig to do 1-2 jobs a week. There's no point in that, because now you have an asset that's just sitting there, you know, basically getting dust and rust all over it because it's not being used enough. So that's why I recommend you take things one step at a time, guys, because, guys, this is an amazing business. It's a beautiful business where if you do things the right way, wow, the amount of money and financial freedom that you will be able to create for yourself will be amazing. And again, guys, if you want my my wash list here, the different phases and sales, I can send that to you. This is also going to be updated in a business in a box, because the business in a box is something that is always growing. I'm always adding to it because I'm always creating new and better things for my business. But that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you coming to the channel and watching this pressure washing advice video. Highly recommend you watch the next one as well. Guys, in the next one, we're going to talk about which CRM program is right for you and the one that I recommend. So make sure you stay tuned in for that. And also email me. I have the marketing blueprint for you guys. There's only a couple weeks left to the year. Make sure that you get my updated pricing guidelines for 2025. You do not want to goof up on that. It's the number one mistakes that you new guys make is your pricing. So make sure that you're not making that mistake. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.